Hello everyone, I am Jesse, or GameOverJesse. Today on the Highland Gamescast, we're going to be looking at old Zelda Wii U, or as we know now, Breath of the Wild rumors. This is a collection of, well, kind of like the biggest collection of rumors that I could find, but I think it's not really a collection, it's just all from the same rumor, really, or like the same person leaking it. Some of it is completely stupid, some of it is kind of interesting, and I thought it would be interesting to just go through and read it and see how correct the Wii U rumors were for the rumors for Zelda Wii U, and compare that to the rumors that we're kind of seeing now for Breath of the Wild. So the first thing that I want to go in here, which you guys can look for your, like, whatever you want to talk about in this, because we'll just do one each. But the one that I'm looking for, they're using new state-of-the-art. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find the exact quote, but basically there's a paragraph in here that's talking about how there is supposedly a dungeon. So, like, this game is going to have about as many normal dungeons as the past games, so the Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and some of the dungeons are supposed to be the size of a normal Hyrule field that we see in like a normal game. Like, that's how huge this game is going to be, which it ended up being really huge. But like, if you could, they were dungeons, they're just not like temples or whatever. They're not really that big, like they're just about the size of a normal dungeon. Like, even the shrine, not shrines, smaller. The divine beasts.
Think about how big the fire sanctuary in Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
The game it has to actually load the dungeon in two separate segments because it's so big. Or underpowered Wii couldn't manage the whole dungeon loading it. So, I mean, like, that dungeon is massive. All of the divine beasts are smaller than that one dungeon. I think you could put all the divine beasts in that dungeon. To be fair. Sorry, Jesse.
No. It's.
I mean, I feel like that they're impressive in scale because, like, they're walking around the overworld and they're huge. But I think as far as dungeons go in Zelda, pretty small.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, the biggest divine beast was about the size of the Great Deku Tree, maybe?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which that Great Deku Tree is a dungeon that takes like 10 minutes to go through and do everything. So not that big. Like, there were labyrinths that were the size of like Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time, but those weren't really dungeons. Those were just like giant.
Those were just anxiety trips for me.
Oh.
So I climbed to the top and found where it was.
Yeah. Are you guys still looking for yours? Because the other thing that I see here is, like, it says the close to the bottom, the Zelda Wii U stuff we saw at E3 was just tech demo, nothing else. The tech demo engine was like, tech demo was even made by an entirely different team with an older engine. Those were like two things that Nintendo told us was, like, from what Nintendo themselves told us, that wasn't true at all. Like, they created the engine just for, like, to test out the test demo so they could get practice for Breath of the Wild, and then they ended up doing Wind Waker HD in the same engine, and it was the exact same team. So, yeah. But those are, like, the things that I seen that is just weird. Because on the one, in some way you could call the labyrinths dungeons, but they're not, like, real dungeons.
They're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
They're just kind of a maze.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Ilya, what's yours?
The HD graphics, same visual style as Skyward Sword, and it's short, so I'll just read it.
It's also wrong.
Yeah. Nintendo are said to be very pleased with the art direction and visual style of Skyward Sword and are continuing this look. Of course, it'll be full HD with much improved quality compared to what we saw on the Wii. They're using a new state-of-the-art engine that's being built from the ground up in parallel with the game. That part's sort of true. It's got the most advanced visual features Nintendo has ever made and includes a lot of third-party tech like Havok for physics and rendering midware from Umbra, which was recently confirmed for the Wii U. He added, the Wii U Zelda staff you saw at E3 2011 was just a tech demo, so there was the whole thing about the tech demo. So I'm like, well, it doesn't look like Skyward Sword. I like what it looks like.
Tech demo, but
very much not like the tech demo. I mean, they did build a new engine.
But I also think I prefer Breath of the Wild's art style to Skyward Sword's, but
I like Skyward Swords because it fits with that story and it all fits.
Works, yeah.
But if they did that and just slapped everything else Breath of the Wild on it, I would no.
So there is one thing that you read that is true in there. They did use third-party tech like Havok for physics, but in saying that, the Havok engine for physics is basically in every single game. So, yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Daniel,
here's a fun one. No online I can't read words. No online multiplayer, but will have online features. This is... but Zelda fans looking for online multiplayer will be somewhat disappointed, according to our source. Online multiplayer was never on the drawing board. That part's not true. I think that was on the drawing board.
It's been on the drawing board and then keeps getting tossed to the side.
It was
literally
the first thing Aonuma mentioned.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're redefining stuff. Yeah, anyways. They're sticking with the tried and tested Zelda formula. That's not true.
No.
They'll have some features like Miiverse, rest in peace, and some sort of system where players can leave hints and help each other in the dungeon. That's about it. So basically what was in Wind Waker HD instead. But the online component is still very much on the drawing board, according to our insider. As far as I know, none of this online stuff has begun development as of summer 2012. It's still on paper only and will probably be one of the last things they'll add. It's not a big priority for them unless they got some separate team elsewhere working on it. So yeah, basically from the sounds of it, it looks like all of this online stuff that they're talking about in the article is made its way into Wind Waker HD. But not Breath of the Wild. Rest in peace, Miiverse. Silence for Miiverse. I was playing through Wind Waker HD on my Twitch channel. Oh, I miss Miiverse. I really miss Miiverse, guys.
Almost makes you want the Tingle Tuner back. That was my favorite part of Wind Waker when I first started playing it, because my brother hogged it. So.
Oh, yeah. And dropping bombs on you.
So the only way to get him to let me play is to abuse the Tingle Tuner, and then he'd be like, fine, you can play. Hey!
But if the Tingle Bottle doesn't work anymore, might as well give us the Tuner back.
Yeah, I wonder how we would use it. They should do that on the Switch if they bring Wind Waker to it. You can connect your 3DS to it.
Yeah, they have...
that would be fun, actually.
So, Miiverse is dead, but during the Direct for Mario Maker 2, they had where you could write messages and stuff. So, they had...
But all the online features from the first Mario Maker remained, even though Miiverse died.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? So it's almost like it just kind of stayed in its own little bubble.
Yeah, it's unique to that game.
Yeah.
It's sad. Can't get more messages in a bottle. And then all of the stamps that you find in Twilight Princess are basically useless.
100% useless. Although they're still fun. It's like, oh, I got the Hylian 8. That's great.
You can learn your alphabet.
Yeah.
Great.
So, Daniel, do you want to take us to the third news story or the first? I don't know. The Nintendo Cloud thing.
What is it?
Basically the same thing that Sony and Microsoft announced.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, if you haven't yet, Jesse made a video about
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.